and determined that I have absolutely nothing to do tonight, and I haven't even started uploading the previous episode. I'm just record them both, upload them both, and then do something for the next 45 minutes that'll probably take to upload. Because, well, the PS4 is uploading, which the fact that's capable of doing that itself is one thing in itself compared to previous technology. I figure we'll just finish off with this act. So we have left our spa, whatever, however you want to pronounce it. Tracks remaining are spa, Black Cat County short layout, and classic Silverstone for the finale. After which we move on to Act 19, Group C Chaos, which, Group C basically thinks Solaire CX4, but actually good in a video game for once, because, the 3 games it appeared in, it was not very good. In Lost DX, it was completely outshined by Vulture, and even, actually, most of the top tier cars, the only thing it had anything over was Arachnarod. But worse in every category than Jet Threat, worse at everything than Power Rocket, and worse at everything than Vulture. And it barely had it had 10 grip points over Prototype 12, and it was worse or equal to in every other way from there too. In Turbo Racing, why would you drive anything when you have the twin mills in the game? But even beside that, I'm pretty sure there's a handful of vehicles that are better than Solaire in every category. I believe Hot Wheels 500 and Formula 5000 are good examples. I think Power Pipes is good or equal to. And not to mention Solaire is actually less durable than Go-Kart. And then Stunt Track Driver, you start the game with that car. No, wait, that was the first thing you unlock from doing front flips or something. And its stats are the exact same as a car that you do start with. Salt Flat Racer. No, not Salt Flat Racer. Something else. I don't know. It's not very good. Anyway, there's neither here nor there. Well, the starting grid does not like Buttercup, because of course now I'm still going off of the last episode, so that is fresh in my mind that the starting grid gods do not like her today. I guess they're trying to be the mass equalizer here by trying to recreate Act 9 and get the girls killed again, except for that implication isn't here because Carbon is not present. Seizure warning. And they haven't even gotten off the line yet. This Mojo stalls or something off of the grid. Oh, I don't understand why it does that. I am absolutely not leading. I'm in the pit lane. The starting grid was nice to her sisters, though, but unfortunately, as far as the Drivers' Championship thing goes, that doesn't really help anyone except for Mojo Jojo. So, but Mojo hasn't really had his best start ever. He's already lost 3 places, working on gaining one of them back on Dexter here, which, for at least the time being, he has done so. However, on top of that, Buttercup hasn't really gained places on her opening lap either so far, as that is about to be 3 wide. Maybe don't do that, guys, unless you're trying to crash Captain Falcon in a very frisky mood today, I guess. I've kind of forgotten he was here in the last episode. I basically never even addressed his existence once outside of when I did the points and addressed the fact that he had scored 29, I think. No, 28. He's 4th from last in points. He's 1 behind Bubbles and only ahead of Burn, XT3, and that. Which, it's not to say the Cobras are doing much better, the other 2. But, he could at least be in the 40s, carrying his weight. Speaking of Shelby's, though, Metacog is leading, so that's... well, that can only help their cause, really. Bubbles spectacularly has not botched it in the first lap, and has stayed exactly where she started. But then again, so is everyone else in front of her. The first person on the grid to have lost spots was Governor here, who lost to So Fast and to Blossom. Mojo is scoring right now, but he's not scoring enough to take the points lead, he's just enough to tie it. However, Buttercup isn't looking like she's making all that much progress towards scoring points of her own. So I think her best hope right now is actually that Dexter can basically take the points away from Mojo Jojo, because she's like 4 seconds away from him and therefore can't do it herself. And, well, basically nothing has changed in the first lap. Outside of a couple of things like Metacog makes her 3 swapped places. Governor and So Fast basically swapped places, and Captain Falcon and Otto just kind of dropped, as did Mojo Jojo. 16 Angels, no. Mojo Jojo's, no. Who gained? Oh, that gained. He gained 2 spots on Otto and on Falcon. It's like, who went up? Darn it! Metacog is just attempting to get out of here. And if he sees this in his mirrors, that'll make it a lot easier, because XC3 and Danny are about to duel for second place. I just referenced Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know what I'm doing either. Bubbles finally loses the place. I'm shocked it took that long. And So Fast we're moving to 4th, and that will really help the Cobras in this matter. The real thing is what this does. Real thing would be what this race does to the Corvette versus Lotus fight, as far as those points go. Right now, I think the advantage would go to the Corvettes, because 10, 13, 14 versus 6, 10. So yeah, the Corvettes would take the points lead from this race. Actually, no, it'd be... oh yeah, it'd be 6 and 5, so it'd be 11. Versus 14. So yeah, the Corvettes would take the points, or no, they would tie from this. It's 3 points between the 2 teams, so if the results stay as they are, and given the fact that Spa and all of the top speed cars have kind of already moved to where they're going to be, that could easily just be the case. Spa is a fun track to watch in real life, but in this game, the AI are pretty lackadaisical about it. As these championships have proved time after time. I mean, as you can kind of see, it's basically a 9-car train. As Mojo Jojo and 16 Angels are fighting now. But yeah, he has better acceleration, Mojo has better top speed, but this straightaway isn't all that long. Danny does get the fastest lap in his Corvette. Mojo, I thought for sure, was gonna just smack into that wall. And Buttercup is just taking her sweet time, I guess. Well, that was a very solid mind blank there. I literally just like forgot I'm supposed to be talking for like 20 seconds. That was professional. Probably doesn't help. This race isn't terribly interesting. I mean, Bubbles has something of a run on So Fast here, but that doesn't matter. So Fast has more acceleration. He compensates for the lack of handling that way. Getting really feisty up here for the lead, and it's almost like a backwards stoplight formation. That is, if you went on red for some ungodly reason, which isn't how they work, obviously. I would hope anybody that's even been near a car before knows that. The thing is, yeah, they can get as close to each other as they want, but they're not seemingly intent on making any kind of overtake maneuvers. Well, of course, X23 just has to prove me wrong, so he does try that exact thing. And, actually makes it stick. So I guess, all you have to do is just say that people aren't doing something, and they'll do it. In this championship so fast, now looking to take advantage of Danny, who's, I guess, dazed and confused from being passed. Ooh, bad time to stall. Dexter has actually passed Mojo Jojo. This is fantastic news for Buttercup, because she basically just got bailed out from her last place finish that she'll probably end up having here. Oh, she's close enough to pass Byrne. She just doesn't feel like it. I don't really feel like it. Oh, goodness, SpongeBob. Oh, no, she thought about it. She had the mind to prove me wrong, and then didn't. Do it, you won't. I was gonna make an internet joke, and then I realized, obviously, that wouldn't really be much of a joke, because they don't have them anyway, so. I was gonna say, do it, you won't, no balls. It's like, yeah, no, they don't have any. No amount of courageous behavior is gonna change that. They're female. Duh! I only wish I could make that turn like that in any of these 5 cars. Still hasn't done it, but I guess she won't really necessarily need. I guess it's just that anything. It's just that she's trying to conserve herself. Maybe she has to. She's trying to keep her energy for the final 2 races at Black Cat County and 67 Silverstone, maybe. And about to mount a retaliation finish there if necessary. But for right now, she will remain in the points lead by 1. Metacog in a very... I don't even know what you call this kind of race. It's a cluster. That's what this is. Everyone is right there. But just no one can be bothered to make any moves. Just... The top 10 are within like 3 seconds of each other. Mojo Jojo can probably see Metacog from where he is, but no one can be bothered to do anything. Spod fails to deliver on anything there. So yeah, it is now a 1-point game with 2 races to go, so this could definitely go either way. Actually, if another race like that happens, we could even see Dexter or Metacog climb to the top of the points table. More theoretically Blossom could too, but I don't think that one's going to happen unless, well, something miraculous happens. But all the miracle jokes are in the anime version, not the American version like we're dealing with here. Although some would say Fusion Fall is an anime game. It's not. I mean, it is inspired, but it's not anime. Because despite everything, the characters in the game honestly look more realistic than the anime characters do. And that goes for any anime character, not just stuff like that. Oh god, everyone's just desperate to get out and get qualifying times, and that doesn't matter. The session doesn't ever happen. I don't know why everyone's like, ooh, gotta qualify. Gotta go fast. Oh, I thought that was Buttercup again. I was like, oh, you poor soul. No, but that is Bubbles in the second black. Second to last place. Oh my god. Now it's starting to just instigating it at this point. Now they start next to each other with Burn in front of them, and that behind them, so they're in a Countach sandwich. Ideally, this car would actually be almost even with these. No, it would actually be better. It would be way faster than these cars in the race. So Buttercup needs to get this pass done now. She has gotten the pass done now. That is big for her in this race, because now Burn is he's a barricade between her and Mojo. So is that. That actual barricade is also a barricade, so you know. And Mojo's really in a bad place if there's any if there's any heavy braking zones, because Buttercup can once again get some assistance from the Countaches. Because clearly they've got an association with at least two of them. Sure, Otto is a jackass about it, but the other two are not. It's like when it comes to swearing in this series. I try to avoid it, but if it slips out, I'm not exactly regretful about it, because there's no rule saying I can't. It's not a kid's game by and by, it's a game that exists. It's suitable for kids, doesn't mean that they should play it, because I can barely drive it, and I'm a sim racer, by default, by definition anyway. I'm not good at it, but I've won a few races. Mojo is very, very thirsty for that position. You forget Burn is like the most defensively offensive driver here. If there is anyone that Buttercup wants in between you and him, or her and him, it is Burn or Otto. And speaking of which, how are her sisters doing? Blossom's gained one spot. What appears to be Metacog or Otto. Would be Otto. Metacog actually has gained a place to start, as has Bubbles. I think Falcon has not had a good start. Oh my god, Daniel, what happened to your car? And you must have just slammed the wall early on in the lap, and I didn't see it. Not worth going back for it, though. It probably wasn't very climactic when it did happen. So fast, it's made its way towards the dark colored, or wait, no, I say that. This car is also a very dark color. It doesn't get any darker than black, you moron. Well, that is forcing the issue on Mojo Jojo. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and say he doesn't have the chance to pass him, but I'm saying it's not likely. Given A, the car, and B, the way he's trying to do it. But, if it's to be believed that and Byrne have some sort of agreement / relationship with the Powerpuff Girls, this is all helping her up here. You know, already like 6 seconds ahead. 4.5. Close enough. That has... Or So Fast has now claimed 4th place. So that is one line of defense. But at the same time, it's not bad for Buttercup, because, it's still somebody to aggress upon Mojo Jojo, and that is actually forcing the issue on So Fast now. I get your team needs some points, but, like, you gotta pick your own fights at some point, you know? Okay, I guess screw whatever I'm saying, but fine. Plus, I'm just holding station in this position. And, yep, yeah. Thank you, Captain Obvious. I think they can see that. She doesn't seem terribly eager to gain any more. If I'm being perfectly honest. She's not, like, on XE3's robotic heels right now, which would be kind of weird if he wore heels. But, I mean, it's also a body part. I guess it would also be weird if he had heels of any variety. He's a robot. He doesn't necessarily have to have human body structure. Powerpuff Girls didn't originally, so I had to like catch myself because I realized, wait, Fusion Fall designs, now they do. Hey, Courage. You can't tell me this vaguely like his house. The only difference is that there isn't really a road anywhere near their house, and so the point of them having a truck is basically none. Or at least I think they have a dirt road somewhere near it, but they don't have a tarmac road, and it definitely doesn't have such nice looking road lines and such. However, despite their best efforts, I think, no, 12, 10, 8, 6, 5, no, never mind. Let's say despite their best efforts, the Powerpuff Girls are not going to outscore the Corvettes. Like hell they're not. The Corvettes are 6-7. That's 5 and 4 points each. So that's 9 to their 6 to... Alright, XT3, that's a teammate. You wanna call him your behind there? And Blossom still couldn't capitalize on that. And now she's gonna pay the price for it. If you just went to go around him, you wouldn't have been just passed by Metacog. Byrne's still grasping that second place so fast, despite damage, but so does Mojo Jojo also has some damage. So it's not like it's anything unique to him. Is So Fast is right on top of Mojo, and Mojo is right on top of Byrne. And potentially going to pass him. I say potentially. But Byrne goes way out there to keep the place, and does succeed. Alright, now it's 5-6, not 6-7, so now it's 12, 10, 8, 6, 5 to their 15. Danny is out of the points, and both the other Powerpuffs are out of points. Wonder why that is. So Fast is going for the move on Mojo. He might make it stick, but I don't think he will, because he's gonna be on the outside here for the higher speed turn. That's a wall. But he manages to basically pinball his way into 3rd place, which is very good for Buttercup, because that's 2 more points advantage she will have. So after this race, assuming the results don't change any, which they very well still could, Dexter is right there on Mojo Jojo's behind, pretty much stepping on escape at this point. It would be an 8-point deficit from Mojo to Buttercup. If Dexter somehow, someway actually passes Mojo, it would be 10. But I don't see that happening. However, that does actually mean that SoFast has to keep his position in order for that to be the case. Otherwise, it's only 4 points difference, or 6 points. What am I talking about? But he hasn't lost it yet. Yet. And Blossom has not found a way to re-overtake Metacog. That acceleration is too much for her to deal with. And it seems she will have to remain in 11th place. A human would have been able to try a way on the outside there because of the way that she went for that turn, but she just didn't do that. Well, she actually thought about it there, but Metacog also went for XT3, so that route was closed. Off the final turn, in another very dominant display of pace, Buttercup now wins here in Black Hat County. Byrne impressively holds on to 2nd place. Mojo Jojo just couldn't find anything to give. Another lap or two in SoFast might have changed that, but well, we would have a 12-minute race if that were the case, so let's not do that. Alright, and now on to the final race with Buttercup 87 points in hand, 8 over Mojo Jojo. Put a Sonic and the Secret Things reference there if you want, because that's kind of what I was aiming at, but I couldn't think of a better way to do it. The points gap, if only they were tied in the last race, if Dexter hadn't passed Mojo Jojo. But it is exclusively between Buttercup and Mojo. For the last round, Dexter is 17 points away, and therefore can only get at best 2nd if Mojo Jojo completely laps this up. I think the most cool thing for me personally to see, SoFast and Metacog have poor races and like Blossom wins, because then we'd have the top 4 all with Cartoon Network characters. I doubt it'll happen, because it's SoFast and Metacog we're talking about. But I've seen crazier. That's at the bottom of the points table, along with XT3, who's proven to be a master in Universe 0, despite being average at best in the actual Universe 1 timeline. And Universe 2, he hasn't even done anything yet, because he wasn't in Precursor. He was deemed as not ready for combat at the time, so he had to stay away from the actual fighting as much as he wanted to get into it, and help his mentors and Danny, who wasn't really his mentor in the same sense as Gearhead and Metacog were. Anyway. Skip qualifying, let's see the starting grid here. Interesting. Well, Buttercup isn't even starting in the points. None of the Powerpuff Girls have a great starting grid spot here. Mojo Jojo isn't all that much better. Very interesting front row, though. Danny, XT3, and the Governor. And I think we see what team wants to win, because 2 Corvettes in the top 5. Granted, Dexter is starting 14th, but you know. And the thing for Metacog and SoFast doing terrible, Blossom could maybe get 4th or 5th in points, but so fast is starting in 5th, and it's so fast, meaning he might finish in 3rd or 4th very easily. I shift up just because I can, and then exit the track. Starts at Silverstone are always weird, since it is 3x3x3x3x3. Mojo gets an awful start and drops 2 places. I think, yeah. I think just me being still on the track, apparently, kind of confused the game. Now, to put it simply, if Mojo Jojo wants any chance of winning the championship, no, regardless of where Buttercup finishes, he still needs a top 4. That's to even tie. And from currently being 10th place, that's not looking so hot right now. And basically for the championship win, nothing else matters. Nobody else matters for the championship, just Buttercup and Mojo Jojo. And I guess that's the nice simplicity of it. There's no chance of an Act 14 or whatever happening with So Fast winning 2 races in a row and coming out of absolutely nowhere to win at the final race by a single point. Also, obviously, if it somehow wasn't apparent, if Buttercup somehow beats Mojo Jojo, that is immediate game over for him. You cannot score more points than somebody who finished ahead of you. It is not how championships work, and never has been. However, Danny is going to lead the first. I guess it does matter because we have the team thing in place, and the Corvettes could easily still win that, especially given they're 1-5 right now. I guess the Canyons didn't have the greatest start, as I cut to him being passed by Blossom in the first turn. I mean, I guess Blossom is trying to make the top 4 happen, but the problem with that is So Fast is up there in 3rd place. And even if you finish ahead of him, he would have had to have had a bad race, not a good one. Like 3rd, or even 4th if he passed him. Yeah, Buttercup has passed Mojo Jojo, as has that. I can almost confirm that the championship is over from that alone. And for all intents and purposes, because of the way that has basically been a honorary Powerpuff Girl in this championship, with the way that he's basically been denying Mojo of pretty much anything, if he can help it. Or, yeah, if he can help it, is he's currently trying to deny him even a single point. It didn't work. But the thought was there, you know? And speaking of Powerpuff Girl, Bubbles is right upon him. And now right ahead of him. So maybe now Bubbles can, I guess, probably chase down Mojo, potentially. He seems to be having something of an off race right now, so 16 has re-overtaken Blossom, probably also into turn 1, if I had to guess, that or the last turn. Which, despite being kind of a lazy arc corner, is like the 2nd most used passing zone on the track besides the first turn. Why? I don't know, but that is the case. The thing is, it's not quite as striking if Bubbles is helping, because that's kind of her job. So it's a little less interesting if I comment on her helping Mojo Jojo, or helping Buttercup get ahead, because that's kind of what she's supposed to do in this context. But that is on a different team, so for him to be basically helping the Powerpuffs win in any way he can is drastically different, not to mention Byrne as well, who, while not being directly helpful, has really backed off the aggression on them and kind of respected their space on the track more than he would with a lot of other drivers such as Alex or Danny or the robots. And speaking of Danny, he is still leading. Governor is right there. And they don't have much for support when it comes to that fight. XT3 is catching, but not by all that much. Blossom is officially faster in one lap than 16 Angels, so I'm kind of wondering how he's getting away from her. I take that back. With a corner like that, you no longer are getting away from her, and now she's right up your exhaust pipe again. So fast, it just blocked him off. Well, Mojo's trying to do something, but like I said, that won't even matter at this point. Even if he stayed ahead, which he didn't, Buttercup just immediately was like, no, I want this, I want to totally defeat you. I don't want to just beat you, I want to beat you into the ground. Which, that is a very Buttercup thing to do. And then, to insult injury, Bubbles is gonna finish ahead of him too. Oh, she can anyway, I don't know if she will, per se, but she can. And then we have their task giver behind them, who is looking to do the same thing, potentially. Governor, like, a third of a second away from Danny, but still not brash enough to try and actually pass him. You do realize it is necessary for you to win the race, correct? You must pass that car if you're going to win the race. Instead, he's a lap down, which he's not, so you have to do it the hard way. And, Awesome still has gained no places, or no additional places. She has gained places. She started 9th, but, you know. So this is like the ultimate defeat for Mojo Jojo in the Drivers' Championship, assuming it stays this way, which I think it might. No, it might not, actually. Unless Bubbles does some incredible defensive driving. It wasn't incredible. It wasn't even really that flashy, but you know, she's still in 10th. This is a very intense race. That's what I always imagine, like, that I'm trying to say in my head when I say intense. Intense is I'm just really stupidly saying intense. Well, for a big change in the team championship, Danny will go ahead and just uncontested by Governor, win the race. No CN top 4, because So Fast, unsurprisingly, does not have a bad race. And with that, Buttercup wins what I believe to be her 3rd championship in Universe 0. As I grab for my plushie of her. I feel like I have to mention that before, right? And I have plushies of them. So yeah, by a resounding 10 points, she wins the championship. But of course, that's not the only thing that we're counting here. I mean, great, you won the championship. That's good for you. But if your sister's doing enough to win you the entire thing. And of course, we don't do that. We start with the Coontashes. Otto, has scored nothing in the last 3 races. He's still at 32. They have 75. And as a result, they definitely did not win. Let's see the Cobras next. And the Alfa Romeos. Cobras, 3,364 for the Cobras. Alfa Romeos, 167. I believe that would be third. That kind of has to be third. Come on, Eraser, give me a break. For the Corvettes. $70, 130, 198 for the Corvettes. One more race and they'd have easily had 200. And for the... Did I do that right? I did that math right. See, 128. Yeah, 198. 70, 64, 64. They had the most consistent drivers, that's for sure. 16 Angels, despite just being the one that's always driven that car. Well, tied with Danny for second most, but Dexter somehow had more. Let's see. Ignoring the fact that Buttercup almost had half of what the Corvettes had. Put that aside and realize that they didn't even win because Bubbles was a liability. As usual. Can you tell Bubbles is my least favorite? Her personality is cute. That's not a personality. That's a visual look. So the final scores in last, definitively in last, poor Countach's get 75. In fourth, the Cobras with 164. In third, the Alfa Romeos at 167. The Powerpuff Girls get second at 189, and the Corvettes win the team championship at 198. I'm actually gonna check, see if other things are still archived. Who won this? Oh yeah, that'd be one. Buttercup won that one. No, I won that. She wasn't in that. They weren't in that. I don't think they were in this. No. Actually, no, they were. They just did terrible. Wonder why that is. Oh yeah, they had the Lamborghinis, right? Oh, this reset itself. I think that was the one that she won, though. Because it couldn't have been that one. I don't think she was even in this one. No, it was Bubbles and Blossom were the teams. So I think if she won a third one, it had to have been 7. And I can attempt to check. As quickly as I possibly can. And she obviously couldn't have won this one or 14 because she wasn't there either. Let's see, my videos. I'll be scrolling for a moment. I hit the wrong button. Oh yeah, I can tell she won because I'm doing the little thing I used to do afterwards of drifting in her car, a green crossbow. So yeah. I want to see the difference in points. This doesn't really tell me that. My god, I've drifted for so long. Yeah, so Buttercup won this one by... Oh, I'm reading that wrong. She won by 18 points. So yeah, Buttercup is definitely, between Buttercup and Alex, they have won a lot of Universe Zero championships. That one was Dusty. Ignore that, that's for like a league thing. I imagine, yeah, that one's changed. This one's changed. This one's changed. A lot of the old ones have been changed. Not this one. Falcon won that. Oh yeah, he had the Can-Am car. Burn won Act 9. I didn't even remember that. So fast. Oh yeah, this is the one where he won by 1 point at the last second at Red Bull Ring. That one's been reset, and Bedlam won this one because it was a lot of the a lot of the lesser used characters. I say, even though Twin Mail and the Governor appeared plenty of times, and then she was almost the winner of this one, too. Almost a 4-way tie after the last race hadn't gone any differently. But you got 4th here. And there was a pretty distant 4th. But, and here we have Act 19. Group C Chaos. Chaos! Control. And, well, the main thing to notice is, for the most part, minus one character, this is the lineup of characters from the Velocity War Precursor, and split into their teams instead, not this time by any kind of, side of the war, but this time by their car. Neutral characters in the Mercedes-Benz C9, Alex's side in the Porsche 962Cs, and Danny's side in the Mazda 787B. So that is Act 19, it's a very different mix of tracks. Vallelunga Classic is in here, and so is the modern version. And then we're also using the full version of the Nürburgring Nordschleife, which uses part of the GP circuit as well as the full track in the forest. making it like 15 miles long. But yeah, so that is that is this act finished. Yeah, I think my throat's finished too, if I had to keep that up.